With a huge franchise like Pokemon that's been around for over 20 years now, it's fair to say that some fans would come up with some myths and theories to help try and answer some unexplained parts of the game. Myths and theories are always good to read, and some have really good evidence behind them to help back them up. With that being said, today's video takes a look at the top 10 best Pokemon myths and theories. Of course, this is all my own opinion, and it's completely cool if you guys disagree with what I say in the video. Don't hesitate though to drop a comment down below about the video and if you found it interesting or not. Don't forget to leave a like on this video too to show your support. I'll be sure to bring out a new video very shortly. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already to keep up to date, and follow my Twitter to hear updates about the channel. Both of those links can be found in the description down below. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video, and I really hope that you guys enjoy. Okay, so starting things off and taking the number 10 spot in today's top 10 video is Cubone is a baby Kangaskhan who lost its mother. So basically, Pokemon is filled with tragedy, both in the world and in the series of Pokemon themselves. It's possible though that of all of the Pokemon ever released, no backstory is more tragic than that of Cubone, whose Pokédex entry in Pokemon Yellow reveals that Cubone wears the skull of its deceased mother. Its cries echo inside the skull and come out as a sad melody. While this is sad enough on its own, some fans have noticed a shocking resemblance between Cubone and the tiny baby creature that lives inside the pocket of Kangaskhan. While it's safe to assume the mini Pokemon in Kangaskhan's pocket is a baby Kangaskhan, because it just makes sense, some fans believe that the Pokemon is actually a Cubone that has yet to lose its mother. Fans believe that a baby Kangaskhan that doesn't lose its mother prematurely evolves properly, while babies that are orphaned change type. The similarity is uncanny, yet adds even more tragedy to an already tragic backstory. Coming in at the number 9 spot in today's top 10 video is the theory that all of Pokemon occurs after a great giant war. So when you meet Lieutenant Surge of the Vermilion City Gym, he tells the player that you won't live long in combat, that's for sure. I tell you that kid, electric Pokemon saved me during the war. This indicates that sometime prior to the events of the first Pokemon games, there was some kind of war. This also explains why there are so many children running around doing the work for scientists, why there seem to be very few adults around, and why there are whispers of scientists trying to manufacture powerful man-made Pokemon that could possibly be used as weapons such as Mewtwo. It turns out the history of Kanto itself is a tragic one, and the protagonist may be part of the very first generation to be born after a massive war. So I kinda like this theory, and a lot of it does really add up. Coming in at the number 8 spot in today's top 10 video is the theory that Venonat actually was supposed to evolve into Butterfree and Caterpie and Metapod were actually supposed to evolve into Venomoth. Now if you do look at all of the Pokemon quite closely, you can see all of the similarities between the other two Pokemon. So obviously Venonat looks just like Butterfree with the eyes, the colour, the antennae, everything like that, whereas Metapod looks a lot more like Venomoth with obviously its eyes and stuff like that. So that kind of makes sense, and really a lot of people believe that when Pokemon was created and before it got shipped out to everything as a final product, these names might have got switched around or something like that, because the resemblance of all of these Pokemon is so strong. Metapod looks nothing like Butterfree, and Venonat doesn't really look anything like Venomoth, whereas the other way around they look just like each other, and so this theory actually has a lot of ground to stand upon. Coming in at the number 7 spot in today's top 10 video is the theory that you killed your rival's Raticate all the way back in Pokemon Red, Blue and Yellow. So fan theories often like to take a dark look at the reality of Pokemon, and one of the most popular fan theories in the Pokemon fan culture doesn't shy away from that one bit, and it is of course this one we're about to go into now. So basically, your rival is seen with a Rattata that later evolves into a Raticate in later encounters. However, later your rival is seen at the Pokemon Tower in Lavender Town, possibly mourning the loss of one of his Pokemon. In later battles, your rival no longer carries his faithful Raticate with him. The obvious implication here is that the main character, not knowing when to ease up during a Pokemon battle, accidentally or purposely killed his rival's Raticate. Coming in at the number 6 spot in today's top 10 video is the theory that Ditto is a failed attempt at making Mewtwo. Now this is probably one of my favourite Pokemon theories, and just because it has a lot of evidence behind it. So Pokemon and science go together like beans and rice, and many Pokemon are actually the results of scientific experiments. Pokemon like DaHubbz and Genesect clearly have a technological influence on them and were inspired by man-made creations, and the legendary Mewtwo was one of the earliest examples of a Pokemon being created by science in an attempt to clone the mythical Mew. However, what if another Mew clone actually existed? A failed Mew clone? Ditto, the lovable pink blob, has the ability to imitate any Pokemon it comes across. Perhaps scientists intended for Ditto to match the similarly pink Mew. Mew, of course, being able to learn nearly any move in the Pokemon world just like Ditto. If that isn't enough evidence, take into consideration that Mew and Ditto are pink, but when a shiny version of either Pokemon is caught, they are both blue. Of course, they also weigh the same and they can also learn loads of TMs as well, so I mean, there's a lot of evidence there to support this one. Coming in at the halfway point in today's top 10 video is the theory that Voltorb is actually a Pokeball possessed by a Haunter. Now ghost Pokemon are a mainstay of the Pokemon series today, but in the original trilogy of Red, Blue and Yellow there were only 3 ghost Pokemon, all in the same evolution line, being Ghastly, Haunter and Gengar, so they were the sole representatives of the ghost Pokemon, removed from their bodies and dedicated to haunting the living, and for some reason everything they could get their tongues on. Some believe, however, that these Pokemon's influence goes deeper than just being Pokemon, and that these ghosts actually caused other Pokemon to come into existence. Exhibit A, Voltorb. Voltorb appears to be a living Pokemon with definitively shaped eyes that yearns for death via self-destruction. Fans have noticed though that Voltorb's eyes actually look reminiscent of the eyes of ghost Pokemon Haunter, claiming that Voltorb is actually a Pokemon that has become possessed by a Haunter. There is also no little button that releases the Pokeball because fans also believe that Haunter is trapped inside the Pokeball, which kind of makes sense a little bit more. Coming in at the number 4 spot in today's top 10 video is the theory that Gengar is actually Clefable's shadow, so a lot of ghost Pokemon theories back to back, but with over 800 Pokemon now in the world, it's likely that a few characters' designs are going to repeat themselves here and there. What's less likely is that 2 of the original 151 Pokemon actually look like the light dark versions of each other. The normal type and later fairy type Pokemon, known as Clefable, appears to be a bright, fluffy pink angel with jagged wings and a round oval-esque body. However, the powerful ghost type Pokemon Gengar is a dark purple spirit with many jagged edges and a round oval-esque body. Gengar was only one of 3 ghost Pokemon in the first generation, so it's entirely possible that its design was based around being the ghost of Clefable. Coming in at the number 3 spot in today's top 10 video is the theory that Ash never ages because he saw Ho-Oh in the first episode. Now one of Ho-Oh's Pokedex entries state that if you are lucky enough to see a Ho-Oh, it can grant you one wish. Now when Ash was setting off on his journey, many people believe that his wish was that he wanted to be on a Pokemon journey and that he wanted to be on that Pokemon journey forever. It was his favourite thing to do, and that's just what he wanted to do with his life. So when he saw Ho-Oh in the very first episode, his wish was granted that he always wanted to be a Pokemon trainer. Therefore he never ages, because that would mean that he would stop a Pokemon journey eventually if he did age like more than 10 years old. Obviously you can be a Pokemon trainer in like your late like 40s or 50s or whatever, but you know, Ash wanted to be travelling around as a kid forever, and that was his wish, and so Ho-Oh granted that wish, and so that is why he never ages. Coming in at the number 2 spot in today's top 10 video is a theory that Genesect is a modified Kabutops, so more man-made Pokemon theories. Anyway, humans in the world of Pokemon are always trying to mess around with Pokemon in ways that they clearly aren't meant to be messed with. Consider for a moment Genesect, the legendary robotic insect-looking Pokemon whose sole purpose seems to be to grow up and look like a villainous robot in a RoboCop movie. While Genesect's origins may be primarily man-made, many fans have noticed that Genesect shares a number of physical similarities with an ancient Pokemon that may have also served as a great weapon, Kabutops. fans suspect that Genesect is actually an armoured Kabutops that scientists have modified. While the scythe arms that Kabutops once had likely served the Pokemon well in ancient times, it makes sense that an updated version would instead be given laser gun accessories to better fight in combat. Finishing today's video off though and claiming the #1 spot in today's top 10 video is the theory that Ash is in a coma, and this is one of the biggest theories, which is why it takes the #1 spot. So anyway, Ash is always 10, we always know this, but fans believe that this is because Ash, after being severely shocked by lightning early in the first season, actually enters a coma. If you are unaware, Pikachu jumps on Ash's shoulder, takes out all the Spearows, the lightning bolt is literally right in Ash's face, no one's going to survive that. Anyway, fans argue that the entire tone of the series changes after this moment, and it explains why Ash ages at such a low rate. He will always be 10 in his head. This also explains why, despite having encountered numerous legendary Pokemon and dominating Pokemon championships region after region, it seems like no one has ever heard of this boy wonder before. Ash is forming his own reality because his true reality was taken away from him. But with that, it does wrap up today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did making it. If you guys did enjoy the video though, please do leave a like, I would really appreciate it. Like I said at the start of the video, I would also love to hear your guys' opinions too on this subject, so be sure to leave them in the comment section below. I do have a couple of top 5s coming onto your screen in a second, so be sure to give them a watch if you have the time, and also subscribe if you like my content. That's everything from me though, so thank you so much for watching guys, have an amazing day, and I'll see you all in the next video.